Hare Krishna, the third shloka from the 7th chapter, Knowledge of the Absolute. Manushyanam sahastreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tattvataha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. You know, the seventh chapter is one of my favorite. Because they used to teach me in my school as when I was in third grade. Seventh chapter was the only thing which they taught me, and as I grew up and I started reading this chapter, it is so mystic and it has a lot of deep meaning. Every shloka can give different perceptions and meaning. Every time you read it, you get a different meaning, and it is so priceless. So yeah, let's try to understand this one. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Even this is one of those many shlokas which is very mystic. Only by the grace of Krishna you can understand it clearly, right? So it's okay. Everyone will have different thoughts on every shloka, so you don't need to force it. So just listen to it, and with time you can get to know what it really means, right? Purport: there are various grades of men, and out of many thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realizations to try to know what is the self, what is the body, and what is the absolute truth. Generally, mankind is simply engaged in the animal propensities, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, and hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. The first 6 chapters of the Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by Gnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and discrimination of the self from matter. So I just a small note, try to focus more or listen more carefully from this chapter. I would just request you, uh, if you're not getting any of the meanings, you can just replay it, so you will have better thoughts and views on it, right? Because as far as I can say, the main Bhagavad Gita, or what the main rasa of the Bhagavad Gita usually starts from the 7th chapter. So the main rasa of Bhagavad Gita is usually from this chapter, right? So let's continue. However, Krishna can be known only by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripada Shankaracharya, has admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna, even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know him. Although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy as the non-devotee class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti, practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti, may be easy. But when it is practiced factually, according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Hare Bhaktir Upatayeva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. I'll read it once again. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literature like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. It is not possible for the Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muhyanti yat surayah Mam tu veda na kaschana. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says, and if one does know me, then sa mahatma sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is. Tattvataha. Even though one is a great scholar or philosopher, only the pure devotees can know something of inconceivable, transcendental qualities in Krishna. His being the cause of all causes, his omnipotence and opulence, and his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization, and the devotees alone can realize him as he is. Therefore it is said, Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi sevonmukhehi jihvadav swayam eva spuhrati adaha. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Bhaktir Rasamrita Sindhu. Hare Krishna.